Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, my name is Amy. On this channel I post videos about saving money, frugal living and feeding your family on a budget. So if you like that kind of thing, please give this video a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would subscribe and press the notification bell, and then you can be notified every time I post a new video. So today's video was supposed to be a food haul and meal plan for you. However, as I was working out my meal plan, I realised that actually I didn't need to buy very much at all. So rather than doing a very minuscule food haul for you, I thought I would basically tell you why I have a food budget of a tiny amount this week. Two reasons. The first reason is that the way that I meal plan means I'm using what I have first, so I shop from my cupboards first. So I will show you how I meal plan, and it really does massively reduce our food bill. It means that we're eating a different variety of meals rather than eating the same thing each week as well, and like I say, massively reduces our food bill. The second reason is that this week we have visited a food waste project. Now these run, there are various different projects that run all across the country, and loads of different ways to sort of take advantage of this, but it meant that we got an awful lot of food just for the cost of a donation. Now sometimes places like this will charge us sort of a set fee for a package, or it's a pay as you feel kind of situation. So you go and you choose what food you want, you sort of shop from it as if it's a normal shop, and then you pay whatever you feel you can afford for the food that you've got. So basically this is things that supermarkets would have been throwing away. So it's after they've been reduced and they've still not sold in the shops, which means the supermarkets are not allowed to sell it. However, it is still good food. Any food that isn't good doesn't make it to these projects. It's only the good food that does. So we've got a lot of fruit and vegetables, we've got absolutely tons of bread, and I think we got some fish, we got some eggs, so loads of different bits and pieces in there, and that it's all still good food. So if you'd like me to do a video about how the whole thing works, about the different places you can go across the country and the different ways that you can do this, because it's not just using the different projects that there are across the country. There's also things like Morrison's do a box on an app called Too Good To Go, which I think the last time I got one it was £3.09, and it's a box of food that otherwise they would have to put in the bin. So it is feeding bellies, not bins. So if you want me to do a video around that whole topic, just let me know in the comments below and I will sort that one out for you for next week. So on with meal planning. I managed to get our food budget so low by meal planning. I don't start by asking everybody what they want, because if you start that way you're going to be buying a whole load of new food, which means that a lot of the food you already have might just end up going to waste. So the first thing I do is go through the fridge, the freezer and the cupboards. Once I've gone through that and made a list of all of the items I have, some of the items I don't put down, so like all of my herbs and spices and things, I will only note down if I'm running low on something. Otherwise I generally have a stock. The same when it comes to things like passata and rice and pasta, which are all sort of store cupboard essentials. They are for me anyway. And I do have a video coming out in a couple of weeks time which is going to be exactly what I have in my store cupboard, which again helps me lower our food spend. But once I have a list of everything that I have in the house, I then start to plan meals around that. Now over the last few years I've gotten quite good at being inventive, but if you need a little bit of help in that situation, there are lots of different apps. One that I use is Supercook, and you can go onto the app, put in the ingredients that you have. It gives you different sections for dairy and pantry items and meat and vegetables. You put in the ingredients that you have and it will give you a list of long list of suggestions of different recipes that you can make with those ingredients. Now once I've worked out what meals I can make, I will then ask the rest of the family what kind of things they'd like for the week, and then use the recipes that I have and what they would actually like to work out what meals we're actually going to have. By doing it that way, it means that I'm not then buying in additional ingredients. I'm making meals from what I already have, which is reducing food waste, which, as you know, I do have a thing about if you waste food, you are just chucking your money away. So it stops food waste and it also reduces our food spend. Once I have worked out exactly what meals we're going to have and that sort of thing, if there is anything additional that I need to buy, I go onto the Tesco app and add everything that I need to buy to the basket. Now, it doesn't matter whether I'm going to Tesco's or whether I'm going to a different supermarket, I still use the Tesco app, add everything I need to the basket, which means that I then have a rough idea of what my overall spend for that week is going to be. It's important to include breakfast and lunch and dinner and snacks as well as drinks, because if you don't, you will find, oh, actually I've run out of something. You pop to the shop, you end up spending way more than just that one thing that you popped out for. So by adding it to the app, I can keep a track, and then when in the supermarket, it doesn't matter whether it's me that goes or whether it's Ian that goes, we can just take the items out of the basket as we've got them. Doesn't matter which supermarket we're at, but we still have that rough idea of what our overall spend is going to be. If the spend is higher than I want it to be, based on the ingredients that we need for the week, I can then have a look at that and see, is there anything that I can substitute for something that's a bit cheaper or a bit better, or something that I can stretch a bit further. That way is another way that I can just reduce the food spend. So this week, like I said, we went to the food waste project, so I'm just going to show you everything that we got from there. Okay, so we have an awful lot of bread, which obviously is going to last us a really long time. We have this here is 2 kilos. It's a pheasant casserole. Some donuts. We have some fish. Now this fish, although obviously slightly out of date now, is frozen. So it was frozen on its date, so therefore it's still good to use. It can just go straight in the freezer. We have some tins. We have chopped Italian tomatoes with basil. We have some garden peas. We have a can of Diet Coke, and we have a tin of tuna. Oh, we also have some rice as well. A whole big pack of long grain rice. A couple of packets of crisps, and also just a few little chocolates there as well. And then we have loads of fresh fruit and veg. So we have some grapes, we have cucumber, we have broccoli, there's a leek, some bananas, some cherries. Got another roll there that Emily's just started eating. We have onions, apples, we have a nectarine, a couple of satsumas, carrots, lettuce, there's a courgette, we've got pepper, we've got some of these lovely tomatoes, lots of spuds, and we also have 12 eggs, free-range eggs as well. So you really, I mean, you can see here looking at this how using these services really can help you reduce your food spend. And also it means, you know, this would have all gone in the bin. It literally would have just gone in the bin, and now it can feed us for, well, the bread will last us a very long time, but the vegetables and things and the other bits and pieces, we've got a week's worth here. Oh, we've also got this giant bag of baby spinach. It's just amazing. Definitely have a look to see if there's anything like this in your area. So obviously that nice little lot bumped up what we already had. We did give a donation. They weren't requiring one, but we did give a donation. Like I say, this is all food that would have just gone in the bin, which is something that I just feel very strongly shouldn't happen. So these projects do run across the country. They're all called various different names, so it can be a bit tricky to kind of find them, but you can use Facebook and Google and that sort of thing to find them. There are several in our local area. I know they do run nationally, so it is just a case of finding it. If you would like me to do a full video on how these projects and programs work, then let me know in the comments below and I shall do one. And I hope that that little guide to how I meal plan has helped you and will help you to reduce your food spend. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would subscribe if you want to stick around and see more from me. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!